Tyrannis Cosplay presents with thanks to the following patrons a build recorded live on Twitch. Well, good evening, fellow peoples in creative land. Tyrannis Cosplay here. I have a really bad voice at the moment, so I may not be doing much commentary as I build. Tonight I'm working on another commissioned piece. Oh, look out. I'm going to turn this volume down a little bit, I can hear myself. Excuse me. Tonight I'm working on another commission piece. As you can see in the title, it is the Steel Horned Helmet from Skyrim, and I'm using Bill and Britney Duran's patterns from Punished Props. So I'm just going to change the camera down to the table and get into it, really. Although, I think I might have to take another strepsil. There we go. Okay, I've got all three of the trusty blades out tonight. I'm sorry. The box cutter for the long, straight cuts. The smaller 10mm wide blade for the slightly curved edges, and my scalpel for the tight inside lines that need a smaller blade to get the curve without tearing that jagged edge on cuts that happens. So Bill and Britney Duran, Punished Props, who also stream here on Twitch, put out these patterns a while ago. They have two sets there on their page for free. They have a large, which is very large, and they have a small, which this is the small size. This commission is for a young lady, and based on the dimensions that she gave me, we should be okay with this. Might turn that background music down a tad, looking at how high it's peaking under my voice. Might not be appropriate. Okay. Now, I've watched Bill and Britney's build video for this pattern twice now, I think. And from memory, there's very few angled cuts. G'day, Crims. How are you, mates? But if there are angled cuts, I'll get to them. And Deathbright, how are you? It's going okay. Well, with the exception of the fact that I'm losing my voice, which for a guy in my line of work is not a good thing to be happening at all, really. Plenty of medication, that'll do it. Okay, for these inside cuts of the eyes, I'm going to use the scalpel. It'll give me a tighter curve. Oh no, Tyrannus is lowering his voice. Losing, my friend, losing my voice. Yes. There we go. Correction at the bottom. Excited for the weekend? Why, what's happening on the weekend? Excited, but also a little in crunch mode. What are you doing this weekend, DB? What convention do you have? Sailor Moon Day. You're pretty happy with your cosplay? Lovely. Finished leather braces. There's a mini con all about Sailor Moon. Anyone know where you can get some C4? I do, but I'm not allowed to mention it on a public forum. Well, for the right money, Crims, I can tell you how to make your own, but I don't live that life anymore. Okay, now this piece here is part of the point on the top of the helmet, and it's one of the few pieces that does have angled cuts, and they're quite sharp. There's a 45-degree undercut on all of these edges, so we'll get to that in a minute. It's trapped in the middle of the puzzle, so no great urgency. I do like to sharpen my knife a lot. Foam does tend to take the edge off of the blades really quickly. Just need foam clay. Oh, right. Yeah. Don't know what you're talking about, mate. Never heard of it. Never seen any. Don't have any laying around. Sorry, buddy. Quite a few pieces to this helmet. I'm using a 5mm foam from a foam supplier. TNT named theirs C4. Yes, didn't they have a name on theirs and somebody went, no, you can't call yours that because we call our stuff that? They announced the new name yesterday. I think it's entirely appropriate, that name. By the way, you're on my new Bluetooth speaker you won at IKEA. Well, bravo. And you won it at IKEA. How did you win it at IKEA? For every $10,000 you spend, you get 20 bonus points. Flybys. What? How? Why? How? Bugger. Sorry being quiet. You're not really awake this morning. This morning, it's 9 o'clock in the evening, Death, right? Yes, I know, you're in a different time zone. But in my stream, we're in my time zone, alright? You had to play an employee game they had going, and so you did. Fair enough. 6 a.m. Yeah, I'm not awake at 6 a.m. unless I haven't gone to bed yet. I think there's a registration mark missing off of there. No, I'm in WA. Now, for those of you watching the video at home, at a later date, through the marvels of YouTube and modern technology, I have a live chat happening off the side of the screen, which obviously you can't see, so you're not aware of what I'm responding to. So just basically play along and put your own in there. Crazy drop bear land. That is where I live, yes. And basically the land where everything that walks, sleeps, or squats in the mud wants to kill you and eat your eyes with juju beads. But the possums, no, even the possums would like to kill you. Don't let their cute, fluffy reputation beguile you into a false sense of security. They're the crafty ones. They're the ones who want to scare you to death first. Stomping around in your roof at 3 in the morning. Putting the frighteners into you. Setting you up for a heart attack when they actually fall through the roof. So I finally got around to setting up a Patreon page, guys. So tonight's video is with thanks to the patrons who are helping me out to help me craft. I have a few commissions that are helping me make ends meet, but the added bonus of having people support me through Patreon will make getting through the week a little easier. Particularly seeing as we're in the height of winter and my DJ business is not generating any income during winter because people don't want to get married in the driving rain. So thank you very, very much to all the patrons who are keeping me going. What's that? You hear that? Deathbright Terror gave an Evie a money stone. What? I'm going to blame that on the medication. I have no idea what you're talking about. Where's my WD-40? That'll help. Oh, is it a Pokemon? Oh my gosh. My favourite Pokemon is a Poop Me Pants. And if you're very lucky, a Poop Me Pants will evolve into a Ship Me Dax. Lunchbox 317, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome along to a very croaky build tonight. Got me a bit of a throat thing going on. It's not sounding 100% brilliant, although that did just sound like the return of my car. It is. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The high elf has returned. Crashing and banging and destroying the house.
My house.
Destroying the house. And it's not yours. My name's on the lease too.
No.
Alphabetically before yours.
I brought you flat. Shut up.
I've got to be nice to her. She just brought me fats.
Yeah.
How is that an M&M McFlurry with 2 flakes in it?
Well, because I asked for flake McFlurries, but they didn't have any of the crumbled up flake, so they asked what I wanted instead, and I said M&Ms.
Crims has just said hello. Hi, Elf.
Hi.
He's not. He's not high at all. He's not even a little bit tanked.
Why is there a half killed mandarin in the fruit bowl?
Because I caught somebody trying to have a mandarin before dinner. Apparently M&M McFlurries are the best ones.
Well, you can't get a great one.
And that text message was Fourth Icon asking me was I available for a Skype conversation, and I had to apologise that I only just started my Twitch stream. You're out? You only just got here, dude. And Death Price going as well. Okay, fine. Both of you bail on me then. Have a great days at work and all those other wonderful things. I'll sit here and play with my foam and sharp knives. Try not to take a finger off. And that was the telltale ding-a-ling for somebody firing up their Xbox. So either it'll be Pew Pew Fortnite time, or it'll be the 27th installment of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the last 24 hours. That's what it is. I just got shushed. There we go. Nothing to be sorry about, Death Bright. You've got to do adulting things before you can do play things. Yeah, so these are the last two pieces of the main part of the helmet. So we're going to cut those out. And then a lot of those pieces that I just stacked actually have a 2mm foam pattern to go on top of them. And there's my stack of patterns there. And as I mentioned earlier on and put in the title, I am using Bill and Britney Duran's patterns, the Punish Prop Peeps, and Chinbeard and Lady Longshanks. So many thanks to the work that they did coming up with some nice patterns for the rest of us to follow. Okay. That'll make life easier. Oh, she's having a fit of the giggles already. One last cut, and then I'll show you the other project that I have been working on for the last day or three. I'll start gluing some of this together. I did do that fourth one, okay. Now I heard Bill, sorry, I lie, I heard Ted explaining to the Foam Fanatics last night during his stream about where he cuts. After getting many questions, do you cut on the line, do you cut inside the line, do you cut outside the line? Well, for precision, you should be cutting on the inside edge of the line. When you lay your pattern on the foam and you trace it out, the line that you draw on the foam falls on the outside of the pattern that you're cutting, which would mean for your foam to be the same size as your pattern, you would need to cut away that line. So yeah, you cut to the inside edge of your line to make your foam the same size as your pattern. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Okay, so here's all our pieces. Let's get the blades up out of the way and do a bit of layout on the table here. I think there's our bridge of our nose. And I think that goes that way. Well, actually, I don't think that goes that way. No, I'm pretty damn certain that goes that way. And that one goes that way. Then we have that and that. That one. That one. All the little white tick marks you can see down the sides are registration marks which are in the pattern as little notches. So when you cut the little notches away, you don't cut those out of the foam, you just mark them with your marking pen, so that when you put your foam pieces together, the registration marks will line up and the pieces will fall into the right place. Mouse is in the way. I know where that piece goes. That piece goes down the front here. There. That piece goes upside down, Miss Jane. There and there. See, as per our pretty little rinky-dink pattern. That'll go in here. And this piece will go in here. We have that piece there and that piece there. Fourth icon, there we go. Your internet is dreadful. Yes, as is mine. I seem to be getting dropouts as well, mate. Yeah, that's because you're an Australian viewer with bad broadband watching an Australian streamer with bad broadband. So the combination of those two things give us a less than average stream, and I'm seeing that I'm getting quite a few drop frames tonight myself, which may be privy of other traffic on my net at the moment. Excuse me. Okay, so we have those pieces. These curves here actually nestle in. Oh, where are we? There and there. Nice away. They go down there. So these round hollows here are where the horns will come off the side of the helmets, and these four pieces are actually going to become a circle in their own right and stick there to give you the little junction that the horn plugs into. So there's all the components for the horn, for the helmet. There's the little horn piece at the top. There are four of those with a 45-degree taper on them. So when we glue them together, they form a square spike. But I only asked for decent internet and a large workshop when I get my own place. My girlfriend can have whatever the hell she wants, except kid. Yeah, no kids. Fair enough. You know, that's now been recorded for prosperity, and yeah. I hope you've made that public knowledge to her, because it is now. Not even a goat. Oh, Beardy! Hello! How long have you been sandbagging there, mate? Well, I'm not going to offend you, am I, Beardy, by building a Viking helmet with horns. Haven't been there for long? No worries, mate. What have you been up to recently? Feels like I haven't had a chat to you guys for months. And for those of you who have not been playing along since the beginning of the stream, no, it's not your audio. My voice is cracking. Yeah, well, in my defense, it's a Skyrim helmet. So, not technically a Viking helmet, but yes, there'll be horns on the side of this puppy. Okay. Time to slap some contact adhesive on here. Wow, it's all stringy and icky. The Vendel Viking Age had a weird cones on the helmet. Ah, okay. Well, Skyrim does belong to the Nords. Fourth icon there, some of you may know him from doing Evil Ted's icons for his stream. Well, he lives over here near me at the moment, and he's just finished a kick-ass Skyrim costume, which I'm now segueing to him posting links of, so that you guys can all pick your jaw up off the ground once you see him. British Museum collection of Viking helmets. I added that last bit. That's not a Viking helmet. That's bloody Madonna's bra. You're quite right. I don't think I'll be making that one. Come on, don't be a pain in the bum. I heard my name mentioned. Chat's not loading. Ah. I was being flattering. I was giving you a segue to post pictures of your Skyrim costume, mate. I'm getting all sorts of crappy frame rates here. My drop frame rate has just hit 4%. So it's probably as much me as it is you, mate. Almost looks like I've got bits of plumbing coming off the top of them. Or really old racing bike handlebars. Yeah, 4% of dropped frame rate. 4.4%. I've dropped 6,500 frames. Viking Age beer pong. Yeah, it almost looks like they've had a touch of that. Oh, there we go. There's Fourth Icon's Skyrim costume. A bloody thing of beauty. That one would be the Skyrim Steel Battle Axe. Don't you dare. So many dropped frames. Horrible. Yeah, it's Aussie Mike, boys and girls, a man with no pants. You heard something about a battle axe? Yes. Beardy was saying that he made an axe almost identical to yours, and I was saying that that axe is the Skyrim Steel Battle Axe. I mean, no 2 a.m. streams. I haven't got there yet. Maybe I'll start here and finish there. Just don't know. Because with this frame rate and this amount of dropped frames that I'm getting, I'm not sure how long I can keep this going. Yeah, not bad. Now I've got a handful of patrons who are supporting my endeavours. I figured I should actually give them some return on their investment and put a stream together. Because while I know pretty much everybody who has stepped up to be a patron at the moment is doing it because they're beautiful people and not because they expect a reward, still feel withholden to give them something in return. I can't do that if I'm not producing material. Okay, so all 4 inside faces on that now have glue. You might remember this from a while ago. I finally got back into it. It's damn shiny. It is, isn't it? So it's got the symbol that she wanted carved into the blade on both sides. The handle is going to be wood grain, but that part there I wanted like a silver inlay. And the crossguard will be a gold brassy kind of colour. What paint did I use on it? This is pure silver plating, man. No, just a silver paint. The same silver paint I used on the second of the Captain America shields after the chrome let me down so badly. So yeah, basically that handle is a fox's tail, and I wanted the tip of the tail, the white tip of the tail, to look like a silver inlay on the end of a wooden handle. So that's why there's chrome splattered across the top of that. A scimitar, yes, a single-handed Sultan scimitar for her feminine fox character. She's doing a Bedouin fox OC. One year, Fen. Thank you. Speaking of patrons, Fen is actually part of the core of my Patreon patrons. Did it come up? Have you pushed the button, Fen, or what? I didn't see a notification. I've got the volume turned down. So if it came up while I was over there grabbing the machete... You did, but no alert. I wonder what's going on. I am getting pretty crappy frame rates and stuff here, so I don't know what's happening, mate. Is that a Tim Tam blizzard? Refresh the page. Can you send a physical $1 a week? Only if you deliver it in person, naked from the waist down. Refresh the page. Me? It's not my page that I'm looking at. I'm actually looking at my OBS software, mate. Whoa, Jesus, Beardy. Thank you. In the cup. I'm not seeing any coins dropping either, just the word birthday over and over and over and over. Although you got credit for it up there, so... Get on your Twitch. No, no, they weren't falling in the cup at all. Yes, most of my... no, I did take the chat off. It was taking up too much real estate on the page, guys. It is knackered. Bit like myself, bit knackered. Old age does that to you, though. Okay. Bit more precision placement. Get some crispy, clean seams. I think that will work out quite fine. Is it done yet? Yes, it is. There we go. One pointy bit. One eternity later. No, that doesn't go on there. That goes on there. They should start settling down shortly, I think, Fen, yeah. They gotta get back into a routine. And get streaming on a regular basis. And that'll help things get back to normal, I think. Mr. Stream, the bugger is never consistent. Yes, well, I'll have to be, won't I? Crumble Bum? Yeah. She's crying. Yep, the workshop elf is upset again in her sleep. which unfortunately has been happening with some regularity. Poor little tagger. Yeah, I got music playing in the background. There, can you hear that? Oh. See, that's freaking weird. Because according to OBS, there is audio on my desktop audio. So we shall do it this way. There is audio on my desktop audio. See? So now, if I turn my volume down like that, you should have the background music playing. There we go. And as always, tonight's music selection in the background is provided with us by the kind compliments of Dark Energy Designs. Yes, exactly. Who? Has anybody heard from Dark recently? He's lost in his 3D printed house. Yeah. He's not streamed for a year. Oh. And that's been a while. Yeah, I get lots of Instagram updates on his 3D printing. With the military claws that he's doing. Are they like stubby holder type things? A drink holder, yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, so these two pieces here are the central ridge that runs down the top of the helmet. So put the cheek pieces on the brow and the nose. I'll join these two together and then join them to that, and everything else will basically build off of that as we wrap the helmet into a dome. So what are the rest of us working on? Have you guys got projects in process that you want to put photos up of? Oh my god, McDonald's gave me a straw. I'm not going to have SWAT bust down the door, am I? Started work on your Warhammer 40k Tech Priest. Sweet. Beardy, I haven't done a thing. Well, that's not a bloody surprise, mate. It's going to take you a while, but you're working on parts of it. Good. Even slow progress or small progress is still progress. You're making a club for a cave woman thingy. And you remember why you don't like expanding frame. Fence put up an Instagram pic. Let's take a look at that. Nice. Servo skull with a glowing red eyeball. And I like the weathering and the aging on that. Like you said, you've been practicing painting stuff that aren't metal to look like metal and then making them look grungy after that. I like it. Good job, mate. Jesus, Aussie, you cracking out the dad jokes, mate. It's not like Halo or Warcraft or something where there is one particular look to the armor or something. It's completely open. No, don't do that, dude. Do not produce a mini you. Just because you are old enough to do a thing does not mean you must do the thing. Last thing you did. Hug a stormtrooper. Isn't he a little short to be a stormtrooper? Actually, you know what? That way. Nearly screwed it up. It's not the size, it's the cold. Right, yeah. You keep telling yourself that. And are you working on any of your own costumes, Aussie, or what, mate? So it's really damned easy to stick the wrong pieces of this thing to the wrong pieces. So I'm keeping the reference in close proximity to the part that I'm working on to make sure that I don't screw anything up so badly that I can't recover from it. You're 6'3", the other dude is 6'7". Jesus, wept. So these two join here, and then with the curve of the helmet, they also join there. So it's going to start pulling itself into that domed shape that we want. And at some stage, I have to make chainmail to go on the back of this helmet. I'm really looking forward to that because chainmail is a gloriously relaxing way to infuriate yourself. Spacey! Welcome to the House of Fun. Oh, I don't think I'll be doing foam chainmail. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do PVC tube, cartoonishly large link chainmail, or whether I'm going to do a metal chainmail. I've got to have a look back at the artwork because she wants it to be as close to the look of the Skyrim artwork. So if it's got really large chunky ones, then I'll do that. But if it's got something that looks more close to actual links, then I suppose I'll have to do a metal version. So yeah, my only hesitation, or not my only hesitation, but one of my hesitations to doing the PVC chainmail is cutting the links. My jigsaw has died. Indeed you can. Yeah, I'm looking into that Ganth as a second option. It would reduce a lot of the work. Did I get the shield ready? Oh, haven't you guys seen that yet? Allow me to regale your eyeballs while the glue dries. Voila. Nice shieldy dome profile to it. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. Lady will be picking that up on Sunday. Thanks, guys. Made your own steel rings. I'm not that enthusiastic, and particularly not considering how affordably priced this commission is. I didn't factor in that amount of construction time, nor damage to my digits. So, even though this is the outside face and it's got a concave curve instead of a convex curve, that's so that I can get these seams nice and flush on what will be the outside face of the shield. Once I'm happy with that glue taking a good cure, I'll pop them inside out, or I'll pop them back the right way around. Gripples! How's it going? It's going alright, mate, for a, what is it, a Tuesday night? Yeah. How's it going in your neck of the woods, mate? Yes, I wasn't happy with the failed shield, both from the fact that the chrome paint wouldn't allow any subsequent coat to take, And I was pushing hard to try and get it done before I went to Geraldton to be with Dad. And when I got back and looked at it, I hadn't sealed seams properly. And I hadn't cut the quadrants at 90 degrees out of the sheet of foam. I'd cut it on slight angles, so when you brought the pieces together, instead of them forming a really flat surface, they were kinked like that. And it just, yeah. You're doing alright, you're exhausted though, had an awful sleep last night, but you're getting used to it. Sleep is overrated. So yes, when I got time to take a look at it and reflect at it, I wasn't happy. So I've offered to finish the job for the lady and give her a refund on the deposit because I missed the deadline. So we've come to an arrangement. You slept all fantastic. 3 hours last night. It was the wrong sort of kink, indeed. The unsatisfying type. Ah, okay, I see. The fantastic bit was it was 3 hours straight. That's always advantageous. Okay. So basically we're down to 4-part construction for the actual size of the helmet part. The faceplate, the crest, and the 2 side panels. Then there's a few accoutrements. There's the spike to go on the top, and the rings that go on here that the horns pop into, and of course, being a steel helmet from Skyrim, there's all this 2mm foam detailing to go over the top of it. Can only sleep well if it's really cold and you have a lot of covers. Okay. So if we bring all these checkpoints together, that's what I was expecting. Boo, 2mm detailing. It's got to be done. You know it's got to be done. You've only just done a shitload yourself. It's not the same helmet without it. That's why you're saying boo. You're still scarred from the experience. Yep, contact cement. I live in Australia, so we don't get barge here. So I use a product by a company called Sticker. But it's basically a contact adhesive. So same deal as always. 2 thin coats on each surface, or a thin coat on each surface. Allow it to dry off where it no longer looks damp. Make sure that you don't get thick, gluggy layers. And then bring it together precisely and gently for a firm and never-ending glue of death. Koala spit. That's what it is. Coagulated drop bear urine. Don't let the EPA know, though. Don't offer anybody else any, will ya? Spacey's off to get themselves some coffee and leaving the rest of us in the lurch. It's fine, I'll just sit here sucking away on my frozen Coke. Waving my foam up and down in the breeze. Okay, so this is where those copious registration marks come in handy. You wish you liked coffee? Well, make yourself another cup of tea and tell us why. Done for the night? No worries, Fourth. I'll catch you later on, mate. Thank you very much for that offer to catch up, and I apologise for not being able to avail myself of it this evening. Yeah, we'll definitely talk shop. Your heart races even decaf, and you feel weird after drinking it. Dude. You bloody marshmallow. Now, before anybody jumps up and down saying I just insulted him, I love marshmallows, alright? I will do. Thanks, buddy. Excuse me. You don't like tea either. Now you're just being bloody difficult, aren't you? I do like that. Nice, the seams are very flush. He was misunderstood. It's those pricks crossing the streams that did it. What does he drink in the mornings? Bourbon. Straight vodka. He's a sailor. He's in New York. What did you expect to happen exactly? Orange juice. Never been there. The only thing I find wrong with it is that it's in America. All those bloody cabbies. I don't like Australian towns either. So yeah, full of bloody Australians. Australian towns, Jesus. Definitely taken on the right shape now. Well, that didn't take you long to answer, did it? So, you've been to Adelaide, Brisbane and Sydney. I was born in Sydney. Spent a little bit of time in Brizzy. Get fruit beer. I live way on the other side of the country. I'm just outside of Perth. While Aussie Mike is pretty much in the Beirut of Perth. Australia is a paradise on earth. Yeah, when the wildlife's not trying to kill you. Must admit, look around the globe at all the other places I could be living. I'm kind of happy I ended up here. There are some bloody horrible places with terrible things going on. Mate, it worked for Batman, it works for me. I don't mind hanging upside down, alright? Almost there. So, as I've mentioned 1,000,001 times before, when I'm gluing two bits of foam together, I'll bring them together on an angle with the two outside faces parallel to make sure that I have very good level join on those two faces, and then I'll roll them together so that I end up with a nice flush surface. So that's pretty much what I've done on the helmet. So it's inside out at the moment, so I'll pop it out the right way. One of the advantages of doing it inside out is it puts extra pressure on this seam, or this side of the seam, the side that's going to be the outside surface of the helmet, to ensure that we get a good joint. And then you can push this side of the seams together to make sure you've got a good joint on the inside. And it doesn't really matter if these are not perfectly flush, as long as the outside face is nice and flush. It'll give you less work to do on your finishing. So let's see if we can't turn this through the right way. There we go. So that's now the right way. This is the outside surface, and there's no definable ridge between the joins on the two surfaces. We still have the faceplate to drop in here. There's chainmail that goes around this edge here. You wish you could make foam hard like plastic. Well, you can. There are a couple of techniques to do it. Bill and Britney Duran on Punished Props have a video on their YouTube channel showing techniques. And what's his name? The guy who does the Pommy guy making the Hulkbuster robots and stuff. He showed a technique of painting foam with an epoxy resin finish. Yeah. Of course, you need to prep your foam so that the resins don't eat through the foam. Let's see if I can't. Where's my YouTube channel? Evil Ted, Andrew DFT, Lost Wax, Jessica, Uzi, Volpen, Cosplay Boom, Barnacles, Jenna Marbles, Ya, Dawn, Aussie. Nope, I can't see his name there. I thought I'd subscribed to him. UK Robotics, something like that. James Bruton is the guy's name. He's got a YouTube channel called UK Robotics, but if you have a look for James Bruton, Bruton, it's a while ago now, it's about 2 years ago. One of his YouTube videos is how he made foam with a hard surface by covering it with a resin. got tore up in storage. Well, that's because you obviously, like, ham-fisted it, mate. Peppercura is just way more superior to me. Dude, this is Peppercura. Okay? You mean by doing a fiberglass or a rondo finish on it. Peppercura, yeah. Yep, but James Bruton, that's the name. He's the one who has a video clip on there about aging, about resin coating foam. Yes, exactly, paper and resin. I did a Iron Man helmet template with fiberglass resin on my cardstock, and then slush casting rondo, which is body filler and fiberglass resin on the inside of it, and sanding it down to give you a more solid one. Unfortunately, it slumped and damn near tore my ears off every time I put the bloody thing on. You made a Fallout helmet that you can kick across the yard with no worries. Well, because that's what you do with Fallout helmets when you're not trying to break your toes by kicking a helmet across the yard. I don't believe you, Beardy. I don't have any drawbacks with foam. Look what you can create with foam. I don't have any problems with that. I think whatever material you use for your crafting has advantages and disadvantages. There's no one superior material over any other for costuming purposes. I mean, obviously there are practical concerns. If you're building a set of armour that you expect to wear into combat, then neither the fiberglass or the foam is going to do the job, really. It's like I watch Andrew, DFT, the Frontline Trooper, make his guns, and in awe of it, but that insulation foam that he uses, I've got a few sheets of it sitting over there against the wall, and yeah, it's not for me. I've tried a couple of builds with it. But yeah, different strokes for different folks, eh? Okay. No, that's not quite dry enough yet. Cough, splutter. Yeah, not only comfort, it's also what your technique and skill level can get the most out of. And there are guys out there who build model ships out of matchsticks and they look fantastic. It's not a material that I'd make a model ship out of. I'd make it out of foam. Everything out of foam. Yep, that moved. Hang nabbit. Concentrate. So many the registration marks. Just realised I haven't taken a single bloody progress photo of this bloody thing, have I? Yeah, I wanted to use the pepper cure patterns I've got for a Cyberman helmet and get them laser cut out of aluminium, 1mm aluminium sheeting, and make a Cyberman helmet out of aluminium, and then give it a light brush finish. So you get that brushed aluminium finish on real aluminium and just have it up there on the shelf. So there's the starting shape. Obviously needs to be hit with the heat gun to let it relax into its shape. Helter Skelter Cosplay, ladies and gentlemen, has joined the chat. How you doing there, mate? I can't see a bloody thing now. Take my glasses off. Yeah. Been busy painting and weathering the axe. That'll work. So in addition to that, the only other pieces that I've got for tonight's stream, which should take us up to the 2-hour mark, are the rings that go in the horn sockets. It's not one of my worst looks. Cough splutter. Oh, that was landed on a bit thick. So have you got any photos of the painted up weathered axe, mate? Because when you brought it over on Sunday, the Vikings are coming. Thanks, Beardy. Yep, that's us, the Vikings. Be afraid. Be very afraid. There. Soon? Good, look forward to seeing those. One of the disadvantages of having this 3mm MDF board on my desktop to cut on and stuff is that the more I cut with it, the more little flakes of sawdust I end up getting all over my projects. I know. First world problems. So, Aussie, are you still there, mate? Still hanging in the background? Have you not met Spacey? Helter Skelter is another cosplayer in close proximity to me. It's a father-daughter team. Achoo again. Drive faster. Okay, so now by bringing these together, you can see we're going to end up with a bit of a convex curve. These go onto the side of the helmet. The paint so far, yeehaw. We go onto the side of the helmet where these holes are and give us our base for the horns to plug into. Okay, let's take a dig out of this, because when I saw this on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, today being Tuesday night. This was raw foam with a painted handle. Very nicely done so far, mate. And while Helter was over here, one of the things we worked on was that battle damage on the cutting edge of the blade. It just needed a gentle push to start doing it, because like most of us, you make a pristine prop and the last thing you want to do is start hacking into it. Who's that directed at, Beardy? Oh, weathering, yes. Battle damaging and hacking into your first pristine piece with the dream. Oh, me? No, most of my patterns are found patterns or searched out patterns, unless they're the weapons. And the weapons, I'll literally print out the game art and build the weapon from the game art. This one, as is credited in the title, is a pattern that Bill and Britney Duran at Punished Props released for free on their page. It is the Skyrim Steel Horned Helmet pattern. And most of my builds for armor, etc., are based on Pepakura patterns converted for foam. I'll either do the conversion myself or find ones that are already foam orientated. But yeah, my weapons, my swords and all the rest of it. Although my Skyrim shield I did freehand basically. I get no argument from me there, Ganth. It's just that initial first time of hacking into something that you spent weeks building and you've got perfect, and then you realise it would be a little more perfect if it looked a little more used. And it's getting the courage up the first time to start doing that. You found a paint that looks and feels like damp earth mud. Dude, it's the middle of winter. We have a low front coming through and it's going to be raining for the next 4 days. I could supply you with the real stuff. Okay, now the seam forms part of the registration. You can see where we're bringing that together, and the registration marks that are already on the helmet are lining up with the ones around the edge of the horn cup. So let's glue that in now, and I'm thinking that I should be able to get away with it being a flush join. Yep. Yep. Uh-huh. Telephone ring. Yep. Did you get a loaf of bread for her lunch tomorrow? That's a no, isn't it? And you went out too. Twice. Because you're a shit mum. Yeah, right. Keep saying that and I'm going to kick you right in the arse and prove to the world I'm a shit dad. See, everybody in chat's agreeing with me. They are not defending you and telling me not to kick you in the ass for berating your parental skills. In truth, nobody's said a single thing, but there you go. Silence is consent. No, it's fucking not. I've been swearing, haven't I? I suppose we should put the disclaimer up. Warning, this live stream is narrated in conversational Australian English, and as such it will contain language that may be offensive to some viewers, inappropriate for children, or it might just upset weak bastards. You was grabbing popcorn. She was calling herself a bad mum because she didn't get the workshop elf any fresh bread for tomorrow's lunch, even though she'd been out twice. So I threatened to kick her in the ass if she keeps calling herself a bad mum. There's enough assholes out there who like to shit can single parents and bring them down without single parents getting that mindset themselves. What the fuck is that a Snapchat of? I know, your contact cement, but do not fucking glue on contact until I've contacted you in the right place. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Okay. There's the first horny hole. Kitan Live. You don't think it's going to listen to me, but it's got big ear holes. Why wouldn't it listen? Yeah, all the stuff he builds is big and shiny and pretty. How are you, Kit? Thanks for joining us tonight. Probably should have let that glue flash off just a little more. But that's okay. We've still got the second one to put in. Ah, I was going to say, I can't find the bloody thing. Afternoon? Damn! Okay, we'll call it afternoon. I like my viewers to feel comfortable and at home. So yes, it's afternoon. At 3 minutes till 11 at night. So I had a commission inquiry today, and I quoted a very low price of $100, and this person balked at it, and I thought, damn dude, I'm doing you a solid. It's like, what's your hourly rate at work? What do you get paid an hour at work? And he said like $37 an hour. I went, well, I've just quoted you $100 to make this piece for you. How many hours at $37 an hour would that give you? Because at $37 an hour, I'd have to have your job finished in under 3 hours to charge the same hourly rate as you, and I'd have to give you all the materials for free. So I think my $100 quote is very unreasonable. Not for you, for me. You got that job? Sweet. I get $37 an hour from the station. So no, it's not uncalled for. You're right, I'm lying. I don't get $37 an hour from the radio station. I get $37.50 an hour. And if I'm lucky, they'll give me 4 hours a fortnight. So yeah, $100 would concern me, and I do get that an hour. So it's all relative, guys. I don't know what their job situation is, but yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. They wanted it for nothing, and when I gave them what I considered a price that was pretty much nothing, it still wasn't nothing enough for them. But yeah, when you break it down into terms they can relate to, the hourly rate at what I was charging would mean, based on his hourly rate, but the job would take 2.5 hours and no material costs. Trying to let him see some sense in that there's an actual practical way of coming up with a price for a commission. Friend made a couple of TV ads tutorials about some game. Each lasts 40 seconds and he got $10,000. Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a lovely Facebook thingy getting around with a superhero picture, trying to show the justification of artist prices, and he's showing how long it actually took him to draw the picture. It was like 6 hours. What you get trying to get the same thing done in 2 hours, what you get trying to do the same thing in 5 minutes, kind of thing, to justify that it takes time to give you a quality result. And time is the only thing that really costs money. Three hours of work for me is probably more like 10. Yeah. There's no way any of us could actually charge a proper hourly rate for our commissions and get a yes from every single inquiry. Because if you worked out an hourly rate based on your 40-hour week or whatever, and what all your expenses were for a week's living, can't wash any of my costumes, mate. Are you still on the floor or have you got off the floor now? But yeah, I think people forget that for some people, making commissions and artwork is part of their income stream, and they need it to survive. For clarification, while Going Ape does spend lots of time on the floor, particularly after heavy drinking sessions, she was actually doing some crafting on her stream and had to use the floor as the workspace. Have you got any photos of your work in progress going, Ape? Because I must admit, I've missed your last few streams, although I've been notified they're coming up, and I haven't seen how far along the job you are. It's going, Ape. Yesterday, I made weapons. Well, that's never a bad thing. Dated Rhymes, how you doing? It's the fella from down under. I missed watching Twitch while on tour. That's okay, I haven't been twitching while you've been on tour, out of deference to you not seeing any of it. I thought, I can't possibly stream because you will miss it.
Sure.
Magic Marker, how you doing? Okay, so we got a bit of the seam coming undone there. Manu Crafter is now following. Thanks for the follow, Manu. Is that like a particular football team area, like showing of love there? Okay, so I'm just going to hold that seam open a bit there. There. So that will join up nicely. It would appear that I've just been given midnight snacks. Except it's not quite midnight yet. Chickeny nugget things in my granddaughter's plate. Oh wait, you don't have a current pic, you're about to take a pic just for us. I love this woman's dedication. Oh, chicken nuggets, yep. Made from all the best bits of the chicken. You know, bones, guts, giblets, all that stuff they can't actually sell as chicken. It is midnight somewhere. If it's 11 PM here, it's midnight somewhere in the middle of the Indian Ocean. No, other way. Adelaide. There we go. Igma Brawls. Really? Thank you for the follow. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Thank you for that. Manufacture, a combination of words. Manus, Latin for hand, and crafting with a K in there for a bit of flavour. Works for me. Just thought you might be a soccer mad foam fanatic, which wouldn't be an entirely bad combination. What the is that last name? Ickmabrols. Sounds like somebody saying something dirty with a mouthful of marshmallows. Well, there we go. And that's all the bits. I've got, like I said, chainmail to go around the back here. Horns to go in here. And then copious amounts of 2mm overlay to actually turn it into the Skyrim iron helmet. Edges will have to be rounded off, of course. And that's all out of 5mm foam sheeting at the moment. A wild combination of a law student and a foam fanatic. Oh my god, that's that is a weird combination. Let's have a look at Going Ape's picture of her waggy snake tail for her Naga type queen character. That's the headpiece there, and the weapon, a staff weapon. A spear staff doohickey. Well, if ever there was a descriptive title, that's not it. A spear staff doohickey. Well done. Sorry, Space. Who you directing that at, love? You gotta do some name tag and thingy there. It's called a a doohickey. Yep. It's a doohickey. Oh, you were talking to me. Repetition and practice and good patterns to start with. And remembering that it's just a foam helmet. Put your mug on camera with the helmet on. No. I don't want to scare off my regulars. I don't want to scare off the newbies who don't even know what I'm doing. It'll ruin my hair. See? Thanks, Beardy. Needs to be hit with the heat gun so that it actually relaxes into shape better. The cheeks are still out too far. They need to curve around a bit. It came up rather well. This 5mm foam is very nice to do rounded shapes with. It takes form very nicely. And Bill and Britney's pattern is a bloody easy pattern to get right. As long as your registration marks all line up, everything fits nice and smoothly, and the pieces go together well. So I can't actually say that it's me that got that result. I just stuck the bits together with some glue. They did the work. Thanks, Lunchbox. Exactly, yep. Hit it with the heat gun and it will start taking its form and all the curves will relax. The thing I have found though, working with contact cement, is if you do that step immediately after your glue doesn't take kindly to it. So I tend to let my glue set and cure for an hour or so before I'll reform it with the heat gun, just to be on the safe side. Now, my friends, it's been a 2-hour stream, just over, and my voice is not getting any better. In fact, my throat is quite sore now. And because all the pieces that I've prepped I have now glued together, I am going to pull the pin for the while and call it a stream for the evening. I'll bundle this one up and put it up there. And besides, that man there streams very, very soon. How are you, Ted? Thanks for joining us tonight, mate. But yeah, see, Ted's got the advice. Let the glue set for a while before hitting it with a heat gun. I don't want it to separate, and it'll let the foam relax into shape. I'm in no hurry. Whiskey for the throat. I got some Frangelico. Well, we all know how that works out on my streams. So yes, there we go. That's taken its form quite nicely, and it'll work in a pinch. So yeah, like I said, next thing is to tool around with exactly what I'm going to do the chainmail out of. And when Bill and Britney put this together for their YouTube channel, they made the horns out of insulation foam as solid blocks and then plugged them into the side of the helmet. I don't know whether that's the path I want to go down or whether I want to attempt to make them out of 5mm foam and pop them in there. So I'll give that some thought. These horns actually on this helmet don't stick up. They're down-facing horns on the Skyrim helmet. Okie dokie. So, like I said, gang, I'm going to look at pulling the pin now that I've cut all these pieces out. My next step is going to be the long, laborious cutting out of the filigree patterns. This has a strip of 2mm foam across the ridge and around the edges, and then all those iconic steel armor patterns. I don't got no pink at the moment. I got a lovely green. Lime green would be nice. Where does that piece go? That piece goes there. There we go. So you have patterns across the top. We have more across underneath the horn. And then we have a third set there on the cheek. So there's a lot of that on each side. So I'll do all that out of 2mm craft foam. The light grey areas there are 2mm, and the dark grey areas are the recessed area. When Bill made his up, he heated up the foam and then used a meat tenderizer and pushed the meat tenderizer into his base foam to give him a nice pattern behind it. While I like that technique, in looking at the helmets in the game, the pattern in the background is not a nice, even, symmetrical pattern. It's very haphazard, pitting behind it. So I think I might use my normal bit on the Dremel and randomly divot all over this surface to give me that texture behind that raised detail, much like I did on the sword and the axe that go with this. In fact, I got the axe just here. So yeah, that helmet is supposed to be part of this same set in the game. So yeah, all this texturing in behind the pattern is far more random. Hold this, Rory. Good boy. Okay. That's it for me for tonight, gang. I'm going to do that. And thank you everybody who has joined me tonight as new followers. Thank you to my patrons on my Patreon page, without whom tonight's stream would not have been possible, because you guys are helping me get through it now. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who was in chat tonight and add comments and I don't know, clips. Thanks for that, Biddy. I'll be back again really soon. I'm going to get into regularly streaming at least twice a week, as I was doing before. Till then, please remember, I'm Tyrannus Cosplay. You can catch up with me on any of the social medias across the bottom here: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, you'll find me there. And until next time, remember what it says up the top here in yellow. It's called cosplay, because this stuff is meant to be fun. Night, everybody.